let's judge these banned cards and see if they're worthy of being pulled off the list or not. Hey there everyone, and welcome back to an ongoing series where we take a look at the TCG ban list for Yu-Gi-Oh! And see whether or not a card or cards can come off the ban list. So today, of course, as usual, we'll take a look at the comment section from before, and Tenebrae 17 talked about 3 of the 4 cards that I had discussed last time. The first one being about Aurora Dawn. Now, with that card, I believe I had mentioned... let's take a quick look. Needing like a small change to be brought back. Though the comment from Tenebrae mentioned that it was to enable Hauki Fibrex with synchro combos and despot Necros, and it might actually be not a problem without Hauki. Now, honestly, who knows? They could end up bringing in a card similar to Hauki in the future, or even something that's a little bit dumbed down from that. But that's why I mentioned that, just to future-proof anything. So yeah. I think I did mention, like, cannot extra deck summon instead of just link. So yeah. But yeah. If they did bring it back without any changes, that would be fine as well. So yeah. Next one would be about Maxi. Overpowered beyond redemption is more often insulting against combo decks. Yeah. There's a newer, more balanced version called Mulcharmy Perilia. I did look at Mulcharmy, and the card's effect does kind of have that Maxi effect, though it mentions that you have to shuffle the cards back into the deck. Now, it also doesn't mention if it's a forced activation or not, so I'm not sure how that would actually work. Though, after I did the video last week, it was mentioned that in the upcoming structure deck, Evil Twin Tactical Try, that Maxi will be in that deck. So, yeah, just gonna mention that. So, yeah. And for the last one, it was about Mass Driver. Was banned because of Frog FTK. Now, I believe the Frog card you're referring to is, what was it, Treeborn Frog? I believe it was. Either that or it was, what was the card name I'm thinking of? Totally Awesome? No, couldn't be that one. It has to be the Treeborn Frog, I believe. There's no reason to even try and fix it. It's either unplayable, bad, or degenerate FTK. Yeah, that's one of the things I was like, okay, drop it from continues. But I think if they just did a complete and total retrain to try and even out the card, it might see some niche play, not some series play, but some niche play here and there for like a troll deck or something. Just to throw that out. And with that, we will go ahead and jump into today's cards. And for the first card, we have Mind Master. So Mind Master is a level 1 light psychic tuner effect monster. And its effect is you can pay 800 life points and tribute one psychic monster, except Mind Master, to special summon one level 4 or lower psychic type monster from your deck in face up attack position. Now, the big reason why Mind Master was banned is that it didn't have a once per turn effect, as you can tell with the card itself. So, during the early days of psychic monsters, there was a vast number of them. Nowadays, I don't really see many of them even being played. So to bring this back, I want to say throw a hard once per turn. It would either be... it would be at the end. This card's effect can only be activated once per turn. That would limit certain combos, and it would force you to figure out how to go from there. And if it was to be brought back under those conditions, I think it would be one per deck at most, just to even out the fact that you can just special summon a monster from your deck in attack position. So yeah. Next card is Metamorphosis. So Metamorphosis is a regular magic card, and its effect is tribute one monster. Special summon one fusion monster from your fusion deck with the same level as the tributed monster. So the reason why Metamorphosis was banned is because it was a way easier way to bring out high-level fusion monsters. More so than last week's card, Magical Scientist. So yes. Now, the card was originally made to bring out the fusion version of Bubble Man, which required Metamorphosis. And since the card got banned, that card became unplayable. So yeah. Now, can this card come back? Maybe. It would have to have some humongous restriction to this. Actually, I think the best thing they could do is lock it to just Bubble Man. Tribute Bubble Man, special summon the fusion monster, and that's about it. I don't know why they made it generic in the first place. Whatever. That sounds like the best way to put it. It's just card exclusion. Put it on the one card, and that's about it. And from there, I would say 3 per deck. If you change the effect to only target Bubble Man. So, yeah. Okay. So, card number 3 for today is Mirage of Nightmare. So, Mirage of Nightmare is a continuous magic card with the effect of, once per turn, during your opponent's standby phase, draw cards until you have 4 cards in your hand. If you do, during your next standby phase, after that, randomly discard the same number of cards you drew, or your entire hand if you do not have enough cards. So, this card got banned because the secondary effect wasn't mandatory from what I've read. And what players would do is that after they drew the cards, they would end up getting rid of Mirage of Nightmare in one way or another. Either bouncing it back to their hand, or they would destroy it with cards like Mystical Space Typhoon, which could have led to the banning of that card for a period of time. So yeah. Now, could this card come back? Possibly. They would have to alter the secondary effect to where it would have to activate regardless of it leaving the field. So yeah. Now the warning for that could be anything, honestly, but it would have to activate regardless of being bounced or being destroyed. So yeah. And if it were to come back, I would say 1 per deck under the conditions of forced activation of the secondary effect. So yeah. So with that out of the way, let's take a look at today's final card. And that is Mystic Mine. So Mystic Mine is a field magic card, and its effect is, if your opponent controls more monsters than you do, your opponent cannot activate monster effects or declare an attack. If you control more monsters than your opponent does, you cannot activate monster effects or declare an attack. Once per turn during the end phase, if both players control the same number of monsters, destroy this card. So for a while, this card wasn't banned, and people kept wanting it to get banned, simply because it was just unfun to play around. Now, one thing I will always say, back row removal. Now, would I have played around this? I would have probably slotted in some back row removal into at least the side deck, just to be on the safe side, regardless of if this card came up or not. And in tournaments, it's the best of 3, so if you see it be played in the first round, you know you have to slide in something. As far as could this come back even with changes, there would have to be some hefty changes to Mystic Mine to even see a 1 per deck. Under its normal effect, I think even the OCG has this banned as well. So I'm not sure if the original card could come back. There would have to be some... there would have to be a card in some upcoming set that could actually negate particularly just field cards instead of just, straight up magic cards. I think there is a card that does that. It was an old trap card. So yeah. Royal Decree, I think that's what it was. 1 second. I think it was called Royal Decree. Oh, that's trap cards. Oh, Imperial Order. That's what it was. That's what I'm thinking of. Imperial Order negates the effect of all magic cards. Negate all spell effects on the field. Yeah. That was banned, I think. I don't remember. Oh, well, whatever. Either way, I don't know if this card could come back in its normal form, considering how long people were clamoring to get it banned in the first place. Though, like I said, there would have to be either some hefty change to the card or a future card that could actually deal with it. So yeah. For the time being, no, and I'm not sure. So, with that out of the way, that's going to do it for me today. And until next time, everybody, goodbye.